hated that red swimsuit with a burning passion.
Why?
Not the color. Obviously, the color is stupendous. I just hated the like. I'm trying to figure out how to say
Swimsuit? What episode did you come into? Was it 2?
1 through 6. I was
Yeah.
on 1 through 6 of season 3, which was the summer one.
And who do you play?
Heather Holloway. I only know her first and last name now because I did just check it. I would have absolutely forgotten. Because 2019 feels like 10 years ago now in itself.
That's
because the
why I was
pandemic
like,
felt
it's
like 6 years.
season 2. Like, I wanted to push you back to like, because I felt like you were on a very early season, but it's not.
It was early because you guys were running quick. You were doing like season 1 and then quick turnaround to season 2 and then quick turnaround to season 3 and then it was like the pandemic screwed everything up.
Right. And then now we
off
shoot for a year at a time, right? So now it's like,
Yeah.
and then imagine how much post there's going to be. Like, that's like a full year of post because there's so many effects and stuff. Like, so the more like effects.
Well, we had all those delays because we had all those thunderstorms.
Oh, but there's still thunderstorms.
Yeah, but we couldn't shoot by the pool with the thunderstorms. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Because
Yes. Oh, that was a pain.
they were worried about the extras getting electrocuted. It's
Stop.
just not funny. Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing.
I thought you're still a horrible person, Francesca.
I just remember, no, it's more about me being uneducated because I was like, what do you mean? Why? And they were like, well, if you're near water and there's like internet. I was like, what? It was like my public school education down the drain. Yes, we had all those crazy delays. But that was also like the first series of like massive thunderstorms that I had ever experienced.
Yeah, it was crazy. I do remember that.
Those
this
were
year.
gnarly.
It was really crazy. They must have had, I felt like the summer, it's because we were shooting summer for the first time.
Yes.
And the summers are when it's really, really crazy.
I had all those mosquito bites all over my leg. I had my girls just spraying me down.
You got mosquito bites by that pool?
Yes, I did. I had mosquito bites on my butt. I had mosquito bites like under my armpits. They like loved under my armpits.
Why?
I have no idea why, but like if I would sit like this and there was any sort of break, I would just get boop, 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 boop. I had on my back because the scoop neck. I have my ankles. Obsessed with my ankles. The mosquitoes are obsessed with my ankles. It was awful. And I still have very sensitive skin to this time, which is why I'm like I try not to wear too much makeup all the time, and I'm very wary about the type of makeup I do get on that does go on my face. And my mosquito bites aren't just like small, they like welts, like they like spread in welts. So then it was like a big makeup thing where they were like spraying me down.
I was gonna say, how did they do that? Because you can't see it. You look great.
We did body makeup, a lot of body makeup.
But it still gets bumpy though. It gives you like.
I wondered about that. I think they might have touched me up in post, hopefully.
Well, it's not
God's
there.
on my side.
It's
not
gone.
there, but I had bites everywhere. And then I had one that my little baby bangs covered because it was like right on my forehead. I don't know where that one came from, but and it wasn't a zit. Everyone was like, it's a zit. And I was like, this is not a zit. This is
You're like,
welting.
excuse me.
No, I know the difference. It was a full-blown mosquito bite. Do you remember the conversation about those bangs?
No.
Where I was so scared to get them.
Did we cut your hair?
You gave me baby, like wisps.
Oh, those 4 pieces of hair.
But they were like only worked when you styled them that way.
Stop. I don't remember.
In the real world, it didn't work at all. What do you mean you don't remember? Thank God I came prepared, Sarah. I didn't get hair on my face. Looks awful. And my outfit is atrocious, but I have at least the photo of my hair. Where is it? Look at this.
Was it all your own hair? Oh yeah. They're not that big. They're not that baby. I've cut enough where it shows up. It looks so great.
Where is it? Where is it? There it is. You see?
Oh, yeah.
Only looks good when it's styled.
In the 80s.
In an 80s perm.
Did we do that to your own hair?
You did that to me.
Nice job.
That's my hair.
It was before the wigs. It was before we got extra cash flow for wigs for everybody.
Oh, I heard about the wigs. I heard all about them. Well, Dacre had a wig.
Yeah, but that was like
And a mullet.
for, like, because it was such a different look we needed for him. Like, he had
Yeah.
like super short hair when he
Yeah.
got cast. I mean, he
He
did
needed the
not
mullet.
look 80s at all. Like, so there
No.
were certain people that like had to be designed coming in. You know what I mean? But then there was like Nat that I knew that we permed her real hair. And she had like lots of highlights in it too. That she had, I think she had gone blonde between season, and then she came in and we permed on top of that.
Matt's hair has been through the ringer.
Oh.
Matt's hair has been through the absolute ringer.
It just came to a point where I was like, we can't. I mean, we can't do this to people. Also, when you shoot for, you know, it was fine when we were shooting for 5 months. Maybe you can like get away with like one perm and you get this haircut and then you move on and you're free to do whatever you want. But when you shoot for a year,
That's a lot to do on hair. Like, that's a lot for hair. Even like just going blonde kills your hair. Like,
that's how you're gonna like touching stuff up. Because I think that's what happened. So she got a perm. It was okay. But then like 5 months later, she needed another perm, right?
really?
Yeah, because she had a grow out. Yeah. Can we talk about the red swimsuit?
Of course we can.
You know,
Of course we
I
can.
told my brother this morning, I own 3 red swimsuits now. I'm like obsessed.
Because of that
Yeah,
red swimsuit?
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
God.
so good.
I hated that red swimsuit with a burning passion.
Why?
Not the color. Obviously, the color is stupendous. I just hated the, like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this appropriately.
Flimsy?
No. It was just so high cut.
I love that.
The cut was so high that like you really, I felt at the time that I really had to like I was doing squats for weeks. I was like my legs need to look toned, your butt needs to look toned because it's so high. Any sort of like, I remember we had issues with like hair removal. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about. I don't know if we're allowed to, like,
Hair removal?
yeah, because it's high. So you have like, you know, if you have any body hair anywhere
Yeah,
between
which
like
you
your belly button
obviously
to your
have.
legs,
Yeah.
which every human has, like, and I'm a natural brunette, so it's like you can see your body hair. That I had the makeup girls like literally like shaving areas of my body before and then covering any sort of like rash or anything with makeup or like skin sensitive lotion because the cut was so high. And I was always like
my God.
preparing for a regular bathing suit cut that I would wear normally for the summer. But the cut is so much higher and it's so much more elevated that there were just areas I just didn't really realize.
You're like, I would have lasered.
I would have lasered.
Yeah.
I would have lasered.
Yeah.
No, I literally would have gone and done the whole laser situation. But yeah, the bikini line was a gnarly, like it was always this kind of like last minute.
I hate the bikini. I always hated the bikini line in a swimsuit. Like, especially when I was
awful.
super young, I just got, you know, bumps.
Which is why I got really self-conscious for the first week in that bathing suit. I wasn't aware of how high the cut was going to be.
And then it rubs.
And then they had to razor my bikini line in the trailer.
I-
And then I just had razor burn.
This sounds so awful.
It was awful. And then I had makeup on the razor
Oh,
burn.
that's disgusting.
Which was even worse. And then it was like I went immediately home to New York because I was living in New York at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm going back. I'm wearing that. But I have to be prepared because that bathing suit is like the epitome of self-confidence. Like if you're wearing a bathing suit
Yeah.
with that type of cut and everything's like the scoop neck and the low back, like you're like,
Right.
I need to look
Right.
and I need to look my best to feel my best in that bathing suit. It felt honestly more revealing than like a two-piece, in my opinion. Because like it was just the way it hugs your body. Everything was so.
Was it from that, like, I mean, so my red swimsuits, they all have like a lot of fucking spank in there. So it's like
Sucks you
tighten
in.
it.
Yeah.
Those swimsuits from the 80s, you also can't hide anything, right? It's that like kind of very stretchy. I love that fabric if I'm like been on a diet, because then everything hangs really nicely. But I hate those kind of fabrics when I'm been snacking a lot.
Well, especially when you're on that set. I'm literally snacking all the time.
Right.
There are photos of me eating like bowls of spaghetti in the swimsuit, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna regret this immediately after, but I also am Italian and I love spaghetti. But I had to like beg the mic people, the sound people. They had a strap that went around your stomach with the mic pack in the back. Do you know those, like that? It's like a wrap around, like hugs your stomach. So what it was doing is it would like cinch my stomach in even tighter, and then the bathing suit would cinch me in even more. So I looked like I had this like boop, and then I kind of went in a little more, and then I went out. So then and if you eat, your stomach is bloating from the bottom, and it was like a whole thing where I was like, please just put it like in a sock in the scoop of the bathing suit was dramatic. I think it turned out so well, but that bathing suit really did prepare me for like how I moved into costume fittings moving forward in my career.
Right. Asking the right questions.
I didn't ask a single question. I said, put me in whatever you want. Yeah. I'm cool.
Well, you just had that speech. Your girlfriend just told you.
I was humbled. I was humbled by one of my oldest friends in the world. But no, I was like, yeah, put me in whatever. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, because you see everything, and everything is really intense.
What about hair? So you've been letting people do kind of whatever they needed to do? You said no to some stuff?
I have said no to bangs, thanks to you, Sarah. I have rejected all bangs moving forward. Yeah. Outside of like curtain.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
As far as color, I've said yes to, because I like that change. I'm cool with that. I like it. I am kind of specific about the color. Like I'm a part of the picking the color process.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's your hair.
But this wasn't for a job. This was literally me just like in dire need of a change.
Right.
You know what they say, like life change, hair change?
You're like, let's do it. Yeah. That's how I have gotten bangs in my life.
Yeah, you're just
a couple of times. I regret it every time. I'm like, what have I done? What have I done?
I mean, your hair is beautiful, and it's like long. And is this a toner?
No. This is a little bit of bleach that I just kind of mush into it.
Because yours is blended way better than mine is.
Yes. Well, it's because they put yours in foils. So you have like a line, right?
Yeah. Anyway, back to the bathing suit. We love the bathing suit. We loved the bathing suit. But those are back now. Like now I actually own a bathing suit that isn't as tight but has that cut.
Yes.
And I love it.
I love that cut.
Because now I'm experienced with it. Now I know how to like wear it.
But now you have laser.
Now I have laser. And now I do go get laser hair removal. So I'm prepared for the summer.
Yeah, I love the laser hair removal. It has really freed up my swimsuit game.
It's the best.
Yeah, I used to just wear the boy short things all the time because I was like, I can't. I'm just so sensitive.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's like, it was a disaster.
Being a woman is absolutely insane. Being a woman who's being a woman who's like wants to feel good about her body can be an absolutely insane process. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work
but
sometimes.
Also like getting over yourself, because then you go to get laser and it's like you basically have to like hold stuff. I mean,
well, yeah, because it is like it's a self-conscious thing, right? It's like, what do I? Half of it is like, how am I looking to myself, and then the other half of it is, how are people looking at me? And like, I remember being super self-conscious on that set for a second, the day I had the razor burn and the makeup on the razor burn, because I just kept every time. I was sitting in that chair, so it's like everything would crease. Like I was just like, remember being like, God, You see
And
the
then only
makeup, you can see
mosquito
the
bites.
bumps, you see the mosquito. Like, I just look like I have a disease, and you can't see any of that, which is amazing. And I would always be like asking makeup, I'd be like, can you see anything? Can you see it? And they would always be like, I don't know. But you see it, and you know it's there.
Yeah.
So in your head, that's like the loudest voice there is. And it's just like, you're aware of how many people are going to be watching you, and you're aware that, like, yeah, you're supposed to be this sex symbol, because the 80s lifeguard was a sex symbol in a way. Like, they were supposed to be, you had like the Sandlot reference, where it's like she's just like this super cute, like all these Baywatch.
Right.
Like, no one can beat Pamela Anderson, obviously. She's literally the iconic lifeguard of the time, of the era. And yeah, so there's a lot to like live up to. And you just want it to be perfect, but you also want to be like, feel your best way.
All of that, actually, now when you're talking about it, everybody, those pool scenes were really, really hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had Kara. I mean, you guys all needed, and the hard thing, and also for Dacre, the hard thing was that everybody had to feel really sexy.
Yeah.
And it was not like,
you're like sitting out in like 90-degree
it was
weather,
hot,
you're like sweating,
miserable, kind of with mosquitoes, and then you guys all had to feel kind of like his stuff. He's like coming out and like
yeah, you
swinging.
had to be ripped as well.
He was like eating ice cubes, like doing push-ups to like make sure
Get his
everything,
muscles,
everybody, and she was not, everybody was been on a diet for like 2 months to get. I mean, because it's a crazy thing, but I'm kind of jealous. I'm jealous because I wish I had myself in a swimsuit when I was like 21. I know. Is that weird?
No.
I'm like, because now I'm like,
I wish I had an image of myself in the swimsuit. Yeah, no, when I do look back, I am like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
I appreciate it more because so much of that was just me naturally at that time, thank God, physically. And it has really just like, now I've had to like work to keep it looking that way. Like, so much of it was just like, yeah, I can eat this bowl of pasta and still feel totally fine. And like, I can wear this bathing suit and I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And like, there were some self-conscious moments. For the most part, it wasn't. And now it's like
some
now when you're
mosquito
doing it,
bites.
now when you're doing it, you're like, I have to like really work. I want to work out. I want to look good. I want to prepare. I want to make sure like I have everything removed. That's what I'm saying. And she looks amazing.
Amazing.
Kara's who I want to be when I grow up.
You have to act at the same time. So it's like,
and then you have to say lines on top
yeah,
of that. Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do that. Like,
that's the easiest part. That is honestly the easiest
Really?
part.
Really?
In my mind, the easiest part is the lines. The line part. For myself.
I just find I would just not be able to. We'd all like step on this blue, like there's like a piece of tape that you have to land on. And like you said, then you have to carry yourself in a certain way.
Oh, the emotion is always tricky.
Yeah.
But like, it's the memorizing part is like the easiest part. Getting it in my head is always easy. And then it's like, not easy, but it's the easiest. But then it's like, yeah, how do I convey distress while also like moving at the exact time that they say move, and then hitting the mark at the exact time, at the exact point in time I need to, or like, or the biggest lesson I had on Stranger Things was learning how to like react to a tennis ball.
Wait. Wait, that is weird. When did you do that?
When Heather is getting like, when she's abducted and they bring her to the basement, and then she's supposed to see the monster like coming towards her. And she's all tied up on the ground. Do you remember this?
I remember that.
Dacre's carrying me down these stairs.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to look and see the monster coming. And it was just someone swinging a tennis ball like this. And they're like not making eye contact with me because they're not trying to distract me. So they're just like looking up and swinging. And I was like, exude fear. Fear. That is the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life. It is not funny at all. It is the scariest image of your life. Cry, be scared, and do it right at this moment. And because they had like the whole camera panning in.
I know, and it's tricky. It's such a technical show. And sometimes you're like, wow, that in my head, don't laugh. But I'm like, that was a good take for hair.
Hair really nailed that.
Yeah, I was like, ooh,
Bad performance, but
that
Hair nailed that take.
wind. Like, I'm just like hyper focused on like the weirdest stuff. Like sometimes when like, no, it'll be like, how was that? And I was like, should I lie that I didn't
I
recognize?
wasn't looking at your face. I was looking at your head.
I'm like looking at like one little piece of hair up here or something stupid,
And you're like,
right?
it was awful. And she's like, what? You're like, no, not you. There is one strand of hair that's been flying around. It's dry. I've let some demons out in the hair and makeup trailer.
Everybody. And they even, you know what? They even did it. They even do it with me now, knowing that I go home and sleep with the director at night. And obviously bitch about my day, which is hilarious. Like I had to be like all the time, like, but you didn't hear this. Sorry, guys, I did sometimes tell. Because you do. You tell that to your partner. Because that's my day, right? So if, like I hear like all of you guys, like some days it's like really, really heavy. And I'm like, oh, I need to go home and like tell it to somebody.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's your director. It's kind of a...
Well, it's like the theory, the whole thing with like, you guys are like therapists in a weird way. So it's like when therapists need to go see their own therapists because they're taking on so much emotional weight from their clients.
Right.
And there's that thing that's like, what is it called? It's like emotional fatigue. Like when you're leaving so much room mentally for other people's stories and other people's emotions, and you're leaving so much space in your own mind for that, and you're taking on those emotions, you then need a place to release those. And if not a therapist, why not a partner?
Right. I mean, but you also just talk. I'm a really chatty person, right? So it's really hard for me.
I don't even know how long we've been chatting, but it feels
And
like
I like
5 minutes.
gossip. Like, it's not bad gossip, not like evil stuff, but just like, and Matt loves gossip. I think that's why he hooked up with the hairstylist, right? Like he was like, this is the woman for me.
Two chatty Cathys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Matt and I would gossip a little bit on set, and then Ross and I would talk about like...
Oh, he's not.
Nerdy things.
Yes. And Matt is like, give it to me.
I owe Ross my life though, because he did show me. I was on a flight with them. We were all on the same flight, I want to say, from Atlanta to LA for the SAG Awards. Or was it New York to LA? We were all on the same flight. We were like in the same row. I think Netflix booked all of our seats. And Ross was watching Paddington 2 on the flight. And
the bear?
Yeah, the bear. And when we got off, and he doesn't remember this story because I told him when I saw all of you at 4th of July last year, and I was like, what movie were you watching? You seem so moved by it as we were leaving the airplane. He was like, Paddington 2, man, this is one of the greatest films. And then I went and watched it, and it has since then become my favorite movie of all time. It is the most incredible movie ever made, 10 out of 10. You don't even need to watch the first one. In fact, I would recommend you just skip straight to the second one, if it's me.
It's the one with the bear?
Yeah, the bear. The bear in the hat who eats marmalade and like says like...
How can you make a good movie out of that? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. What? I am so confused.
I don't even know how to process what you just said. I mean, Sarah, okay. I don't want this to become like a pitch for Paddington 2, but it really is.
I think it is going to be.
No, it's just such an amazing movie. He's just a bear who like does nice things and says nice things and is just eats marmalade. You should just watch it. You should just watch it. It's moving. It's a very moving film. And I'm going to shut up about it now because it's not why we're here, it's to talk about Paddington 2.
No, but I think like, it's really good. I like it.
It's so great. And Ross doesn't even remember that he is the one who was like, go watch this movie. And now this bear has become like such a key part of
your existence.
Of my whole existence.
Thank you for coming to Trailer Talk and Tea.